evening. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Lewis Basketball Network. It is your boy Lewis, and I am back once again with another one on this late night Sunday with another banger with yet another video. So we're gonna start with some NFL football. I just want to see, like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video as you come in. Make sure to let others know about the channel. Let me see that who's available. You will catch me right here, Lewis Basketball Network, powered by StreamYard. There it is, StreamYard. Right there, StreamYard. So anyway, like I was saying, man, let's sort of let's see what's up, what's up, what's up. Let me see who's in here right now while I got a little bit of a rant. So we are talking some NFL football first, and then we're gonna get to the topics at hand as I put on the hashtag on the Lewis Basketball Network. So let me see who is on here. Let us see. When I wait in, gonna wait in patiently. Man, there was some really nice football games. Any football fans, man? Any of my subs football fans up in here, man? Let me know. Let me know. I was doing the fantasy, and I'm on two different fantasy leagues, man. One look good, and one is not looking so good right now. Let's see, man. Let's see who's in the building. Once again, like I said, like the video as you come in. Hit that thumbs up as you come in. Share this video. Truly appreciate you guys for taking the time on the Sunday evening, checking in with me on this little late night live stream. Let me see who is in here, man. Let's get it, man. Got some things to talk about. Some things to talk about. There were some great football games today as I was looking, man. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, for those football fans, are you guys excited? I mean, it's week one. I mean, we had the Packers and the Bears on Thursday. They won 10-3. And then we have a slew of games today. And then don't forget that tomorrow we have a doubleheader with the Saints and the Texans starting at 7:10. And then the Raiders and the Broncos ending the nightcap. Man, unfortunately for the Raiders, they won't have their receiver Antonio Brown because he asked to be himself released, and now he is with the New England Patriots. And rumor has it that AB tried to get released as soon as possible before the 4 p.m. deadline so that he could play tonight against Pittsburgh, because I said it was so crazy that Antonio Brown got released, asked for his release, knowing that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to play tomorrow against the Pats. That's why I said for some reason it's some kind of deviance on his part, man. If you ask me, um, you know, and it's funny, man, because it would have been crazy. I really feel like there would have been a Twitter war between him and some of his teammates, and then even the coach. And even on top of that, then it's like you would have saw the trolling during the game. So I think it would have been interesting. It creates drama, creates storyline. Would have been great for football. Nice little football story. But unfortunately, he's not playing tonight. But I expect AB to be here in week 2. And listen, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a fun season. That's all I gotta say. NFL is gonna be a lot of fun. So what I wanted to talk about is my New York Football Giants looked absolutely horrible. Horrible. That was the worst that was one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen in my life. It was one thing that Eli looked so indecisive with the football at times during the game. A couple of turnovers didn't help against that Dallas defense. But allowing Dak Prescott to throw 405 yards was just pathetic. It was inexcusable. We got shredded 35 to what, 17, I believe. I was not happy. Not happy. Dak had a QB rating of 158.3, which was the second best, tied for the most in Cowboys history with Craig Morton back in '69. Like, it's one thing if we lose, man, but I'd rather lose competitively, not the way that we did. Giants defense already showed me it's gonna be trash, and I mean, my man Saquon Barkley did wonders in terms of fantasy, but I mean, to be honest, it hurts not having Odell, but I just feel like Odell was kind of inconsistent last year. He wasn't like as good as he's been in the past, and just not happy the way we started. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles coming back from a 27 deficit to the rival Redskins. ladies and gentlemen, coming back and then winning 32-27. They did a better job in the second half defensively, putting up 7 points. Deshaun Jackson had a monster day, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think it was on, I want to say 4 or 5 receptions, if I'm not mistaken. But I told you, Deshaun Jackson's speed is unparalleled, man, with the best in the NFL. Carson Wentz had a good game, 28 of 39 through 313, had 2 touchdowns. Casey Keenum had a great, had a pretty good game, 30 of 44. Uh, he threw, I think, for 338 yards. I could be wrong about that, but and threw three touchdowns. Didn't turn the ball over. So shout out to the Eagles getting off to a good start. Not happy about my Giants. I want to see how the Eagles match up against the Cowboys. I think that's going to be one hell of a matchup. The NFC East is looking. It's going to be a little bit of a dogfight because I feel like the Redskins. To me, they're missing a big playmaker down the field for me for the Redskins. Uh, they got a good team and they have a good defense. Their defense wasn't that great in the second half. It was a tale of two halves for the Redskins. Dak Prescott looked way too comfortable. I didn't like the fact that the Giants they didn't get any pressure. Um, Shout out to my man Omar Page, man. It was good with you, homie. Back on the live stream 2 days in a row. Appreciate the support. Make sure to share the video, fam. And again, I know you like the video already, so I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for checking in. And so I'm talking about football right now. Some of these football games. I don't know if you're a football fan, but uh, or maybe you are, but it's just like I wasn't kind of paying attention to it. But I'm just talking about NFL football. Week one, exciting. I'm excited for the matchups, and was just talking about the Giants laying an egg against the Cowboys. The Eagles coming back after stinking up the joint in the first half against the Redskins. Um, let's see what else. What's going on, Anthony Rose? What's going on, my man? Appreciate you for subbing in. Make sure to like the videos you come in. Appreciate you guys for coming in. I'm talking NFL football right now before I get to the basketball topics. I don't know if you guys are fans of the NFL. If you are, yo, let's talk, man. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna continue and say that I was again watching. We got to get to the New York Jets. Can y'all answer me this question? They're up 16-0 against a very good Bills defense. They forced 4 turnovers on the Bills. And the final score, the Bills win 17-16. That means the Jets go scoreless the rest of the game. All I got to say is same old Jets. This is a team that still hasn't won a Super Bowl since Joe Namath was quarterback. Remember that. That's crazy. 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 Anthony Rose says Packers all the way, fam. We got to wait and see. They look good against a very good Bears defense. We got to see. We got to see. I got to see how the Packers look week by week, and then I'll determine. I said that for the first time they look like they got a top 10 defense since they won the damn Super Bowl. Even when they went 15-1 the next year, their defense was terrible. It was not that great. They were just a pretty good. There was just a great offensive team, but defensively they sucked. They were horrible. Omar says I'm a football fan a little bit. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I wanted to talk about that, and let's see. What was I talking about? Yeah, so the Jets, they were just pretty much they were just did not like it. Let's see what else do we have. Um, we got. I didn't see the Lions and the Cardinals. I saw like the fourth quarter, and I saw Kyler Murray drive the ball down the field. They came back after being down 24-9, come back and they win. What is it? 20. Last time I checked, the game was tied. Let me check real quick to see who won that football game, because I could have sworn because I did see them tie the game, and that was it was a hell of a game because I know the game went to overtime. Let me see real quick. And who won this ball game? Oh, it ended in a tie. Wow, 27-27. So nobody wins the game. Okay. And Let's see. The 49ers beat the Buccaneers 31-17. The Seahawks win 21-20. I wasn't really paying attention to those games. The Chargers beating the Colts 30-24. Melvin Gordon is right now still in a contract issue with the Chargers, and they say that he might hold out until week 6. So if you're a fantasy player and you don't have him, that sucks, unfortunately. But the Chargers do get the win. Phillip Rivers, I didn't even start him on my fantasy team. Oh, yo, let me look at this comment right here. Oh my God, bro, I cannot tell you how good Lamar Jackson looked against that terrible Dolphins team. That Dolphins defense, bro, this guy passed for what, 324. He was 17 of 20 and had 324 yards and passed for 5 touchdowns in his first game. And he was trolling Twitter after about saying that he was good for a running back, right? Not bad for a running back. As a matter of fact, my man Mark Ingram, shout out to him, had 107 yards on the ground, I believe. So, but he did his thing in the first half. So he had 77 in the first half. I thought he was gonna have like 140. I was like, yo, he would have did great for fantasy. I know that the Rams, they beat the Panthers. And shout out to my man Christian McCaffrey. My man gave me 43 fantasy points by rushing 128 on the ground. Like, that just made me happy. And I was contemplating on drafting him, but I heard that he was a fantasy beast last year, and that he really gives you really high fantasy points. He rushed over for almost 1,100 yards last year. But even though Dallas beat the Giants, I gotta say that the Cowboys, honestly, they did look good for that one game. But I didn't like the Giants were getting killed in the middle of the field with the passing game with Dak Prescott and that offensive line. They were never able to get to Dak, and Dak had just he had like 24 hours to throw the football just about almost every possession. And once again, I just don't like Eli's decisiveness on third and fourth downs. It makes me cringe. It makes me go crazy every time I see Eli hold that football on third and fourth down and get so indecisive. If you don't see a play, throw it out of bounds, my friend. Like, stop holding the ball, and it's like we lose yardage after that. And it's like if we get to such a slow start, I mean, it's gonna be like, do we start Daniel Jacobs already? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. Let's see. Oh, you know what, Anthony? You talked about the Dolphins game. How about the Browns out here preaching Super Bowl, and they get their asses smacked by 30, 43-13 to the Tennessee Titans, and Baker Mayfield throws 3 picks. Now I will say this: Baker Mayfield, I appreciate his leadership. They're gonna need that. They're gonna need that. But you throw 3 interceptions. The Browns play horrible. I think Odell Beckham was a non-factor in this game. Yeah, that doesn't look good, bro. Not good at all, right? So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, we look at the schedule for week 2. Look at that. Us Giants, we got the Bills next week. The Patriots got the Dolphins. Listen, if the Ravens put 52 points, how much are the Patriots going to put up next week against the Dolphins with the receiving core of Demarius Thomas, Julian Edelman, Josh Gordon, and Antonio Brown? Because he will be playing in week 2. The Dolphins might set an NFL record for most points given up this season. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You see, I wish our Giants were playing them because I think we probably could have got some 30 plus points. But we got the Cowboys, so. But I know Skip is gonna have a field day with the Cowboys win to on Undisputed and talk about how Dak looks good and that he's gonna be worth this crazy amount of money. You better hold your horses. This was just 1 week and he threw 4 or 5. Are you really banking on Dak Prescott to do this the following week? I doubt it. Exactly. All that hype. Oh, the Browns are a Super Bowl team. I'm like, yo, where you going next week, Baker? He's like, throws 3 picks. We going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, all right. 43 points a lot at home. Okay. Let me look at the stats real quick because I didn't even see that game and I kept watching the highlights and just looked how horrible those guys look. Let me see this crap. For the Browns, Odell Beckham has 71 yards. He averaged 10 yards a carry, 10 yards per catch. Baker Mayfield, 285 through 3 picks, only 1 touchdown. Right? Yeah, this was a pathetic performance. And look, the Patriots, look, by them losing Le'Veon Bell, by them losing Antonio Brown, they're down 17-0 to Pittsburgh as I have the game live. It's truly pathetic, man. All that hype. The Dolphins allowing what? 50, what was it, 52 to 10? 59-10, my bad. 59. They lose by 49 points. Yo, just crazy. And unfortunately, and I was looking at James Washington since there's no Antonio Brown, that he was going to get more opportunities. And I remember when they had Martavius Bryant. The problem is with the Steelers, they've continuously been downplaying some of these rumors, some of these headlines, some of these some of these storylines that are going on within their organization. A lot of rumors. I mean, even Le'Veon Bell had to sit down with Steve Smith on NFL Sunday Countdown, and he talked about what went on in the Steelers locker room. And the consensus from him was kind of like what Antonio Brown was kind of saying, in the sense that Ben Roethlisberger gets a little too much treatment, like too much treatment from the head coach to the organization. And I said, do y'all remember this? The same dude that was on 3 different rape charges that all got dropped. So, as great of a quarterback as Ben Roethlisberger has been, and he's a future Hall of Famer, and I've defended Ben on numerous occasions. Now, Antonio may be acting like a clown out here, and I think that he's going to do well in with the Patriots, and he better be, because then he'll lose that guaranteed $9 million, and the Patriots will cut him easy. This is a no nonsense organization. I mean, you can say whatever you want about the Patriots, but one thing they won't tolerate is dudes acting out of conduct and being unprofessional. So AB better be on his P's and Q's. That's a given. you know. So excited for the NFL season, man. This is great, and you know, I'm definitely excited. Definitely excited. So, enough with the football talk. I just wanted to do a little bit of that. Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to the Texans and the Saints. As I'm looking at fantasy, I'm looking at the Broncos and the Raiders, so that will be fun. So now let's get on to NBA basketball. The moment we've been waiting for. Ba-ba-da-da. So I wanted to start with Derrick Rose. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I've already talked about Derrick Rose as he went on and said that he feels like he's a Hall of Famer. And I think that he has an opportunity to get into the Hall of Fame if he was to win a six-man award, because he already has an MVP. And if he was to make about he was what, a 2 or 3 time All-Star? If he were to make another 4 All-Star teams, with the fact that the NBA is letting anybody into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, Derrick Rose has a good chance to get there, despite the fact that he's been injured and he's been injury prone in his career. But he's looked good, and what I wanted to talk about next about him are these headlines. So he had told reporters, talking about Phil Jackson and his time in New York. So Derrick Rose says that he really likes Phil Jackson, but he says that he feels that the triangle offense would not work in today's NBA. And he said it was one of the reasons why Melo did not want to play it. Now, I have a different theory on that. What people need to understand is that the triangle, ladies and gentlemen, we're in an era where the 3-point shot is most focused on. We're in an era where it's positionless basketball. We're in an era where the point guard is the emphasis of the pretty much of the offense, if you really think about it, on most teams. But the advantage that the triangle does do, folks, it allows to slow the game down. You see, we're in a fast-paced NBA. And what people don't understand is it's one of the biggest reasons guys are getting injured. It's because we're going up and down the NBA. Now, some of the injuries that happen are freak accidents. Some of them get non-contact. But if you look at some of the minutes that guys are playing in this league, it's a reason why the NBA has had a lot of players injured and a lot of players getting missed time. You didn't see guys get injured at the level that they are in today's NBA. And we had guys play up and down. But remember that we're in an era where where teams and even players shoot more threes than ever before. So my question to you folks is, do you think that the triangle offense can work in today's NBA, or do you think that the triangle is a yesteryear's NBA and that it cannot work? Because one thing that the triangle, like I said, that it slows the game down. You get the hockey assist in that offense, and so not only it also allows you to be patient. Because I think what gets lost with the triangle offense is that you can read the defense um, in the triangle. You know, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are on record as saying, and even Scottie Pippen, that the game tends to slow down. Then there are things that you can see in the triangle that you probably wouldn't see if you're playing a different offense. I think with Phil Jackson is this is a ego thing. What I would say with Phil Jackson is you can play implements of the triangle offense. Um, but I think what gets lost in this as well is that when Derrick Rose says that nobody ain't really trying to play that, it just shows you the lack of fundamental skill that some of these players have in wanting to play the triangle offense. Because a lot of players like this era, okay, and we are in a different era. With their players are not really patient when it comes to that style of play. They want to play their style because their style is really more effective. And that's why I said that this is not really a fundamentally skilled era like it once was. Well, people are going to say, well, you know what was I going to say? It's not about, the players are skilled more now than they were back then. I feel like when it comes to execution, I feel like execution it was a lot better back then. Now we could go back and forth on saying that it was skilled, it was not skilled, but I think execution was a lot better in executing plays, much more than today. I feel like a lot of times it's just you bring the ball up and it's like let's shoot the three ball in transition. It's a more transition game today. Half court, we don't really look at half court anymore because people know how to play one style. I mean that's that's how I look at it. And I think the problem is when you don't change your game to open your game up to do more than just what you primarily do. Learn to be patient, learn to expand your basketball IQ. That's why you're not going to be looked at as one of the more skilled players in the NBA. And it sucks, but that's the way it is when it comes to today's NBA. And I would still watch the game because I love basketball, and there's players that I actually like, and I like players that I think that are going to be integral in the future of the league. But I feel like there's certain players that need to leave the league for the league to transition into what it should be right now, and that's more ball movement, more team-oriented basketball that really focuses on making the extra pass. And like I said, I just want to see like very fun, fundamentally sound execution, and I think we'll get there one day. But it really just depends on. Well, I feel like one, we need more head coaches that really, really preach and emphasize that. That's number one. Players continuing to work on their fundamental skills. I mean, it takes more than athleticism and being able to shoot threes to be not only just a great player, but being able to be part of a great team. And I feel like we don't teamwork is not really as emphasized as it should be. And that's why when it comes to certain great players, we tend to focus too much on the individual and give them a lot of praise. Um, on what they did, but it's like because it always changes the argument. It's like, oh, when a great player uh should get accountability and should get blame, it's well, what about the rest of the team? They didn't do that. Well, it's like let's look deep into that. Why is it that way? The reason being is because we have to look deep into why teams lose basketball games. See, you can spread blame around when you have a system. A great player is able to play off of a system and in a system. Now, you can say what you want about Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant can play in a non-system and he can play in a system. When I look at LeBron James, he can only play in his system. He can't play in another system. That's the mark of a great player. When you're able to play in your own system and someone else's system, when you can blend and you can mesh. Kawhi Leonard is that same way. Michael Jordan is the same way. Larry Bird is the same way. Magic Johnson improved offensively, but he was more of a team-oriented pass-first guy. And he was skilled. He was very skilled. But in terms of like individual skill, I would put Larry Bird above him. And I said that Larry Bird had that combination of being able to play one-on-one, and he was able to do play in a team game. You know, and it's important to learn that when you're with college coaches that teaches you that implements the system that you play in, and you learn how to play with teammates. That's why it's easy to do that. So you know, with Derrick Rose, you know, I understand what you're saying, but like I said, that again comes down to this and your willingness to want to learn how to play that way. Guys in today's league don't want to play that way, so that's why they don't do that. Of course, Alistair, of course you're going to say Leonard because you can't stand him. Okay, he left your Raptors. Get over it, my man. Get over it. Get over it, son. Get over it. You know as well as I do that Kawhi Leonard, he improved his one-on-one offense. Okay, he was more of a system guy. Okay, he was more of a system guy, but he improved his one-on-one offense in the last couple of years. So Kawhi Leonard, I mean, if you look at some of the shots he took in the playoffs, it just lets you know how much he improved his offense one-on-one. So you could say that he had a great team, which he did. He had a very good supporting cast. But at the same time, individually, he improved his game. He really improved his game. And like I said, Kawhi Leonard is the simple but effective type of NBA player. And there's people who enjoy watching him, even though he doesn't seem like the most fun guy or the most entertaining player in the NBA. But obviously you're gonna disagree, my man. But anyway, shout out to my man Alistair 49. Shout out to my man Low Key T, man. You know, appreciate y'all for coming in. Make sure to like the video as you guys come in. And the next topic I want to get to is Kevin Durant. Now that I'm done talking about Derrick Rose and his comments on Phil Jackson. But Phil Jackson is very egomaniacal, so you know, he really thought that triangle can really last long. And it's like, you know, that team. And here's the thing that Phil doesn't understand. In today's NBA, before I get to Kevin Durant, teams are going to eventually speed up. They're going to speed up the style of play, knowing that Phil's triangle likes to slow things down. I mean, you know, you're going to find a way to counter that, right? But what the triangle can do is like it limits your fast break opportunities because you're preventing the shot clock and you're forcing the team to play defense for just about 24 seconds, especially if you could get a good shot, you know, within the shot clock, right? So my man Michael Polanco, what's going on, my man? What's going on? What's up? What's up? Like to stream as you come in. So going on to Kevin Durant. So I was on He Knows His Sports channel. Shout out to my man He Knows His Sport. And he was talking about how Kevin Durant, according to his haters, they were looking at him as the Derrick Rose 2.0 because he has the torn Achilles and that this might lead to many future injuries for Kevin Durant later in his career and that he will be a shell of himself. I don't know how Kevin Durant is going to come back from this Achilles injury. I don't know. Nobody knows. Okay, when we look at Kobe Bryant, he was a shell of himself. But that was also because he suffered a knee injury and he suffered a rotator cuff that he had been playing for years and never got surgery on. But I will say that the Achilles affected his legs. His legs came and went. Now with Kevin Durant, if I were him, I would sit out the entire season. I would not even try to come back. And I think the reason that he's trying to say come back is because he might be kind of ahead of schedule on his Achilles injury. But if I'm Kevin Durant, I would wait out an entire season and come back for 2020, 2021 because you'll be 100%, and then you could play at 110%. And in helping the Brooklyn Nets getting to the NBA Finals, hopefully, if you can do that. That's why I think, ladies and gentlemen, that the Lakers season is really important in terms of what Anthony Davis does if he stays for the Lakers long term, or if he doesn't like what he's seeing in that 1 year with the Lakers and they don't win a championship. He looks at Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre Jordan and says, I think I want to be part of that situation and we can own the basketball league in the Eastern Conference. And I joined the Brooklyn Nets. That's why I said that this year is very crucial for the Lakers. Because if you lose Anthony Davis, you got rid of your young core. What do you have left? A 35-year-old LeBron James that people are going to keep capping and saying, oh, LeBron made you relevant. Oh, 27, 8, and 8. You can't keep going with that narrative, especially being in Los Angeles, okay? Los Angeles fans are ruthless. They are spoiled in winning. We are like the Laker fans are like the Yankee fans of baseball, spoiled in winning, okay? You are expected to win on this franchise. You could talk about how they haven't won in 6 years, okay? Because before that, they only had 5 years that they did not make the playoffs in 57 years before their little 6-year drought, okay? But I'm telling you that they're going to come with pitchforks at Staples Center and want LeBron exiled and out of Los Angeles if that dude don't win, because LeBron has been going on social media, making narratives. Taco Tuesday. So you have that. You have that. Him and AD. AD's gonna push him like no other teammate has ever pushed him, which is gonna be my next topic after the what I'm gonna talk about with Dwayne Wade. but But for those who are saying that Kevin Durant is going to be the next Derrick Rose of the NBA, whoever came up with that foolishness needs to just shut their damn mouths right now. Because first of all, even if Kevin Durant made the decision that he made, okay, whether he's a cupcake, whether he's a snake, or whatever you want to call him, the bottom line is Kevin Durant in the record books is a two-time Finals MVP. Kevin Durant is a two-time Finals NBA champion. So Kevin Durant has championships. Derrick Rose doesn't have any championships. Derrick Rose went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2011 with that great Bulls defense that won 62 games under Tom Thibodeau, with his second best scorer being Luol Deng at 13 a game. They were not going to beat the Miami Heat. And I love how LeBron fanboys continue to be like how he shut down Derrick Rose. You have another great wing defender and arguably the best shot blocking guard of all time in Dwayne Wade by your side. What are you talking about, man? This is what I can't stand about the fanboys. This is what I can't stand. They make it seem like if LeBron does everything, that he has to do everything. And then when LeBron doesn't get it done, but how can you blame it on LeBron? What about his teammates? That's the problem. The argument always changes with this guy. And it's like, how you want me to appreciate him when you guys continue to talk nonsense every single time when it comes to this guy? So that's why what I was saying with KD, it's like KD's won. Y'all don't have to like his tactics. I understand it. Okay. That's why I said with LeBron and KD, they both didn't win without 2+ All-Stars, but people continue to try to change the argument because they want to go, well, LeBron didn't do what KD did. And it's like, stop, dude. The bottom line is they both didn't win without 2+ All-Stars. So if you want to really be fair and objective, both KD and LeBron are both snakes. Both of them. I don't care what anybody said. Both of them are. To try to differentiate their situations, that's pretty much trying to say that LeBron is pretty much innocent in his move to Miami. Stop it. No, it's not. Okay? And for him to make 4 straight finals with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and only win 2 championships, the end result is that they underachieved. That's the end result. But remember that they had the highest expectations of any NBA team in NBA history because LeBron James was 25, Dwayne Wade was 28, and Chris Bosh was 26. All of them were before the age of 30. That had never been done before. So for people who are talking about super teams and all this kind of stuff, those guys were drafted into their situations. So how are you going to blame that on them? LeBron made a decision and controlled his destiny by deciding to team up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. It's a little bit different when people are trying to compare 80s super teams to modern super teams, modern prime super teams. That's what LeBron James did. That's why I don't understand the logic, man. It's like people don't understand this. And that's why when you try to over glorify this guy, it's just like, oh my goodness. He's great. But see what I just explained? See, that's what LeBron stands don't want to understand. They don't want to understand it. So yeah, Kevin Durant being a Derrick Rose 2.0, I'm not ready to say that. And Kevin Durant has proven to win. So, like I said, despite what he's done, he's proven to win. So, what Kevin Durant is going to look like post injury? Is he going to get more injuries? Does Kevin Durant end up retiring early? We don't know yet. But to call him a Derrick Rose 2.0, I'm sorry, you can't do that. Can't do that. But I hope Kevin Durant comes back healthy. Kevin Durant looks like the KD that we saw in the 2019 postseason before he injured his Achilles tendon. And yo, if we see anything like that, KD's going dog. Who's going to stop KD? That of the elite offensive player that he is. Dude is damn near unstoppable. That's how special Kevin Durant is. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm Kevin Mother effing Durant. Put some respect on my name, you know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, on to the next topic. D Weezy, Dwayne Wade. So with Dwayne Wade, there were reports that Dwayne Wade was supposedly going to go to LA to work out with LeBron in the offseason. And Dwayne Wade said that he kept his body in shape just in case over the summer if he were to come back. And that he was going to work out with LeBron James. Now, my question is, why did Dwayne Wade want to go to LA to work out with the supposedly greatest player of all time? I said the reason that Dwayne Wade has LeBron around still, folks, as I've said, is for business opportunities in Hollywood. I said that. I said that, folks. There's a reason why I said Dwayne Wade has him around. And what I find very strange is Dwayne Wade said that he would not come back unless if he was playing for the Miami Heat. So then why would he go out and work out with LeBron and try to help LeBron if he was not coming out of retirement unless if he would play for the Miami Heat? That's what I found. That's what I found very, very, very odd and very fishy. I smell a rat. And what I said was LeBron trying to get, oh, I don't know if it was true or not, if he was trying to get D Wade to come back, because then I would say, what was that whole farewell tour from Miami? That would have been pointless. And then you coming back and playing for the Lakers? Miami fans would, as much as they love and respect you, they would not find no respect for you doing that, because you know what would have happened. Then they're going to say, oh, Dwayne Wade just retired and they just signed him easy. And why is Carmelo Anthony still out of the league then? You sign Wade first, but you can't sign Melo? And Wade is older than Carmelo? Now the NBA is blackballing Carmelo. Like that's where going to be the conclusion. So then Dwayne Wade came out and said, I think on social media, that he is not coming back because I think he didn't want to deal with that. Well, I wonder what you guys think about that when he said that. I just find it very strange why he would want to help him out. I'm like, LeBron already has Anthony Davis. Like, LeBron's got a very nice team. What more help does that guy need? And that's what people still continue to understand. If LeBron is as great as he says he is, as great as his fanboys and the 3-6 Mafia, the LeBron James Justice Coalition makes him out to be, why does he continuously need all this help? But then people will come back to me, and shout out to my man Freddie G, but this is where I disagree. How can you say that he's the only one to lead the Cavaliers to beat the 73-9 Golden State Warriors? Are you forgetting the stimulus package that brother got in order to beat that team? And I told you, if we were doing a 3-on-3 playground, who you got in the playground? Steph, Clay, and Dre, or Kyrie, Kevin, and LeBron? I'm going with Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love over Steph, Clay, and Dre. I told you what happened in those 2016 NBA Finals. Even if it went in the record books, why is it that people still are saying that LeBron got that stimulus package in order to beat them? The more talented team with 16 less wins should have not been down 3 games to 1 to Golden State. And I'm going to say it again. The way that the Cavaliers played in the first 4 games, with the exception of Game 3, they looked like they did not want to be there. And there were reports saying that LeBron was padding his statistics. He was getting called out by members of his camp and Stephen A. Smith. Look at the reports. It's like when you talk, it sounds like you a lie. And like I said, my man, shout out to Freddie because Freddie knows his basketball. But sometimes when it comes to LeBron James, I'm just like, it's just some things I don't agree with. And also, I told you, Harrison Barnes was building a brick house. He was building a brick house with the amount of shots he was missing. LeBron didn't really have to guard him. He could sag off on defense. Don't you think that if he was making some shots, LeBron would have had to pressure up more on Harrison Barnes? Because the space was all spaced out. And Harrison Barnes could not hit a shot after game 4. It's like what are people not understanding about that, folks? I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's not even spewing hate. I'm telling you exactly what happened. I also said, did you remember J.R. Smith undercutting Andrew Bogut to cause him to tear his ACL? Like if that didn't happen. Also, if you say that LeBron led, here's the issue I also have. Why is it that the Cavaliers didn't get jump started up until Kyrie Irving started to play transcendent in that 2016 NBA Finals? See, when you keep saying LeBron led and LeBron single-handedly this, that's disrespecting the impact that J.R. Smith had on the defensive end on Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson has not had a great NBA Finals up until this past season, where he shot 50%, because this was clearly his best Finals. Also, the impact of defense and rebounding by Tristan Thompson. Also, did y'all forget that game 7, even though it was one game, Kevin Love played great defense and had 14 rebounds in that game 7, even though he struggled offensively. And like I said, Kyrie Irving averaged 30 in the last 4 games of that play from games 3 to 7. Overall for the series, 27. You're discrediting what Kyrie brought. You can't just go off and saying, well, Kyrie did not lead until LeBron got there. Okay, but did they really build around Kyrie? They did not. That's what gets lost in this context. Kyrie was a young player, and they didn't build around him. And even when he signed the contract, why did LeBron see if here's the thing. If LeBron This is why people get so misconstrued with LeBron James. If LeBron is as great as he is as a leader and all this kind of stuff, why is he continuously going to team to team to team? He went from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland, now to LA. Why is he doing all this jump shit if LeBron is this unquestionably leader? Remember, Wade sacrificed for LeBron. Chris Bosh adjusted his game for LeBron. Kevin Love adjusted his game for LeBron. LeBron plays better with a scoring guard. So that's what I talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And it doesn't make me happy. Shout out to D Jefferson, man. I saw you on the boxing talk. Speaking facts, letting he knows his sport, and Alistair. Yo, D is the man. Shout out to him, man. And but that's what people continuously leave out. Did I say Steph Curry not choke? I said he choked. Klay Thompson choked. Draymond was going to be the Finals MVP had the Warriors won. But I can admit that as an objective fan, I tell you that Golden State choked. But I also said so many bad things happened to them in order for the Cavaliers to come back from 3-1. Are you forgetting that Kyrie Irving could get his own shot? You know, he may not be the playmaker that, LeBron is, but Kyrie can get his own. LeBron don't got to set him up. Kyrie was being forced to play off the ball. Like, people forget that part, man. Like, that's like discrediting the contributions of Kyrie Irving. It's like you can't do that. You can't do that. That's kind of like saying that all those guys were a bunch of scrubs beating the and LeBron led them. Like, stop. Don't you see that when Kyrie Irving hits the biggest shot, all they talk about is LeBron's block, but never talk about J.R. Smith slowing Iguodala down. He got back tightness. Like those things happen. And I said, even with then so, I said that the Cavaliers won the series. LeBron won the Finals MVP, yes, because he was the best player. He led in all statistical categories. But let's not act like that J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, and Kyrie Irving didn't contribute. That's the issue I have. Always. That's the problem, and that's not LeBron hate. That's y'all LeBron fans being so biased, acting like if his other teammates didn't do anything. So anyway, off of D Wade, what I wanted to get to next, ladies and gentlemen, are the Indiana Pacers. I think that team is a dark horse sleeper team in the Eastern Conference. I know D has mentioned this a couple of times when it comes to the Eastern Conference. He's talked about the Bucks and the Sixers, um, but they have a nice little team in Indiana. One of the better defensive teams in the league. They can possibly be one of the 10 best teams in the NBA. They got Miles Turner, Sabonis. They got T.J. Warren for cash sent to the Phoenix Suns. The Suns don't know what they're doing over there. They have that. They got Malcolm Brogdon for the Milwaukee Bucks, who averaged 15 points on 50, 40, 90 as the fourth option on the Bucks. But now he comes and he gets to help this Indiana team. Uh, I always say that when when Oladipo comes back, anytime a star player comes back off an injury, it's like picking up a free agent and you're adding him to your roster. I think by the time he comes back by January or February, um, the Indiana Pacers, I think in the second half of the season, they're going to make a push. And I think they can make a lot of noise. Now, do they have an opportunity to beat the Sixers and the Bucks? The answer is yes. They have Doug McDermott off the bench. They have a lot of shooting. They have a lot of shooting and they have a lot of depth and they play and they're one of the better defensive teams. The issue with them is they don't have star power and they're not as talented. And Miles Turner will be better. The issue I have though is they're lacking they really need a power. To me, they need a small forward. And the question is, would you trade either Miles Turner or would you trade Sabonis? Sabonis to me is the better post player. Um, and he is he's a much better rebounder, in my opinion. Miles Turner is a better defensive player, shot blocker, and he's a better floor spacer because of his ability to shoot three. But I look at defense, and that's what you got to keep. As a much more of a talented offensive player as Sabonis is, he really can't. His range does not extend. So he's really more mid-range to the post. And with today's NBA, you need to be able to space the floor, which is what the Indiana Pacers have. They have a lot of floor spacing with the shooting that they have on the starting lineup and then coming off the bench. But I feel like they really do need that go-to player. They need a superstar that can put them over the top. See, they have the depth and the shooting, but they lack talent. Something that the Sixers and the Bucks have. They're more talented than those guys, and I feel like talent is going to prevail when it comes to the Indiana Pacers if they run into one of those two teams. See, their best bet would be if they had a key injury to like a Joel Embiid. We got to see how Ben Simmons is. Uh, See, Sabonis matches up well because with a guy like Al Horford, because Al Horford is no longer the center, he's moved to the power forward now. So he matches up well with Al Horford in that regard, but even Al Horford can space the floor. So that's very key. And D Jefferson making that point, Miles Turner getting his mojo from the FIBA games too, fam. So especially if they win that gold, then that's absolutely facts. I agree. So no question about that, folks. And so where do I see that the Indiana Pacers are going to me, they're going to be fighting for that third to fourth playoff spot. That's where I look at them. Look at them. and definitely they will do something in the Eastern Conference. Definitely for sure. And I like their team. I really like their team. But I think the presence of a superstar missing and the lack of talent to me is where it's going to hurt them going into the. Because if you look at the Clippers, you got talent. When you have the Lakers, you got talent. When you look at the Bucks and the Sixers, talent. So that's where they kind of fall short if they were to go up against one of those teams. Uh, but Miles Turner, yeah, he's looking good in FIBA. D Jefferson, I agree with that, man. Ladies and gentlemen, like the video as you come in. This is Louis Basketball Network. I talked football in the beginning, and I'm right now talking basketball. Let me see what other thing I want to talk about. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Devin Booker. What do you think about this cat, Devin Booker? Do you think that this guy will he have a standout season? Because I'm iffy on him because as talented as he is, I had a little issue with him complaining about the double team in an off-season workout, even if it's a pivotal game. And Joe Kim Noah telling him it's part of the game. And I said this a couple of videos ago that I think that you should want to get double because it shows the respect that players have for you as a threat on the floor. Now, if you're too worried about getting doubled, they're going to sag off of you and look at you as they're not going to respect you, Devin. And I feel like he needs to take that next step in order to be an all-star. I really want him to dog this season. And in the Western Conference, it's very difficult to make all-star teams when it comes to wing players. Very difficult. I think it's very difficult when it comes to weak players. And you know that the top guards are in the Western Conference. The top guards are in the West when it comes to point guards. So, and Devin Booker is a two guard, obviously. But I think if he were to take that next step, if he were to become better, I really feel that he needs to become a better defender because all I see from Booker is he's just an offensive player. All I see him is that he could show that he could put the ball in the basket. But I need to see a little better skill set from Devin Booker, and I need to see him become a better defender. I think if he improves his defense, see, this is why I also think that FIBA would have been good for him too, to get that kind of experience. And I think like learning, playing against international competition. I think it would force him to learn how to take his practice time more seriously. Develop more habits. More excellent habits and becoming a better player on both sides of the ball. So as we could look at D Jefferson, he says no defense either. Booker has to work on that defense too. Yo, straight facts. I agree. Omar says D Book is a talented loser. He's a great player, but he has a losing mentality and needs to work on his defense. That's my issue with Devin Booker. Omar, you're speaking straight facts, brother. That's my issue with Devin Booker. The fact that dude was complaining about a double team in an all-season pickup game, like when you want to compete and beat the best, you want to be at your best, okay? Going up against your competition at your position, guys are going to come at you. Knowing that you're soft, they're like, oh, this guy doesn't want to play defense. He's afraid of double teams. I'm sorry. We're going to come at Devin Booker, man. And if you thought that soft double team, you were going to be complaining about that, wait till the regular season when the games actually matter. When the games actually matter, it's going to be something, man. Agent Circle, one of my favorite subs, man. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, like the video as you come in. Make sure to share the channel, man. New subs, if you're new to the channel, man. Subscribe to Louis Basketball Network. Truly appreciate that. Agent Circle says he puts up good numbers, but they have no impact. Exactly. He's got some talented pieces, but I also blame the organization because they have no direction in terms of where the Suns are going. It's like they're just putting these players together, but they have no culture. They have no identity. It's really sad. But I will agree, though. Devin Booker he's as bad as the mentality of the Suns organization. Loser's mentality. I absolutely agree. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's the problem with today's NBA. A lot of these players have a losing mentality. Money has become the emphasis more than winning. Fundamental skills are lacking in today's NBA from these players. Let me ask you something. Don't you think that this would be a more beautiful game to watch if we had a lot of more fundamentally skilled players? I really think so. Because it's like the talent is there, but these guys just don't want to work hard. And just look, a guy who complains with two guys coming at him in a pickup game in the summertime, and Joakim Noah, who's one of the hardest defensive players in the NBA, and he's all about work playing hard. Even though his career's kind of taken a downturn with some of the stuff he's done recently, but like I said, with Joakim Noah in his prime, that dude was all about playing hard. Former Defensive Player of the Year. He told Devin Booker, man, straight up, it's a part of the game, and I agree with him. I agree with him. That's old school mentality right there. It's a part of the game. I just don't like some of these players with this crying hissy fit era. It's too much friendships, my man. Too much friendships. It's agreed. D. Jefferson says Booker is an example of the new age athlete. I've been saying that for the longest when it comes to these NBA players. These new age athletes, all they care about is the money and not playing hard. And when they come into the NBA, it takes them such a long time to finally like improve their game. And even when they improve their game, you still see that there's like a lack of skills that they really should be working on. When I look at body types, when I look at sometimes the way they play, it's like I always be looking at it. It's like, yo, these guys can get better. And when you wait for these guys to get better, some of these guys continue to just either be the same, slightly get better, and really don't show like gradual improvement. And that's what I want to see from these players, but they're just lacking, man. It's just really, really, really sad out here. Woo! This is what I call a profound statement. Let me see that right again. My man Agent Circle says there aren't a lot of true leaders in the NBA. Alphas. There are a lot of too many high octane betas. Whew. Somebody put the flame out on this comment. It's on fire. That's the problem. We lack a lot of leadership in the NBA. If you look at Dwayne Wade, one of the true alphas in NBA history, he's gone. You're missing players like that. When I look at a Kevin Garnett and the passion he brought to the game, you're missing leaders like that. When I look at a Tim Duncan, even though he did his business quietly, you are missing a quiet alpha like Tim Duncan. You're missing players like that. You know, Jason Kidd. You know, Kobe Bryant when he got to be the leader of his team, even though he was much more of a drill sergeant. You know, there's a lot of players that are not in the NBA anymore that just lack leadership. Too many betas. And the thing is, there's a lot of high octane betas that act like wannabe alphas, but they're really sissy fit high octane betas. They don't understand what the meaning of a true alpha is. When I look at high octane betas, as talented as they are, they're a part of the pack. You're just behind the alpha. It's smoke and mirrors with these NBA players, man. Smoke and mirrors. And when I look at Devin Booker, it's like, as talented as he is, he's a beta mentality. So when I look at Devin Booker, he's nothing more than a complimentary piece. You know, he could work his way to an alpha, but it's like I don't see it with the way he thinks out there on the court. So this comment is straight facts. I wish that these two little rings of dragons right here could be circling around this comment that Agent Circle put right here. This is absolutely true. I'm going to read this again. Want that to marinate in the corpus callosum and the cerebellum, as my man He Knows His Sport likes to say. There aren't a lot of true leaders, alphas, in the NBA. There are too many high octane betas. Couldn't agree with you more, Agent Circle. Straight facts. Facto. And D. Jefferson is on agreement saying exactly, which I agree with. I definitely agree with. So on off the Devin Booker, and I hope he has a great season, but I hope that hissy fit, Charmin soft mentality changes in the season. Because if he was complaining now, I can't imagine what the season's going to be like. Everybody's going to be coming for him, especially guys at his position. I'm just saying. But let's see. LeBron James and Shaq. And this is going to be the last topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen, because what I wanted to talk about with these two players is who were their best teammates. Because when it comes to the argument of GOAT, these guys are both considered top 10 greatest players of all time, according to many. Some people have LeBron out of the top 10. Some people think LeBron isn't even top 20. I said some people. I told you I have him at number 9 on my list for a guy who lacks a lot of fundamental skill compared to some of the greats in the game, right? So when I look at oh wait, but before I go on LeBron and Shaq, D. Jefferson says Curry, Kemba, Joker, and Kyrie are the only true leaders in the game. I respect the opinion. I agree with Curry. People have been trying to downgrade his leadership and saying that he just rode the coattails of Kevin Durant. I'm like, last time I checked, that's Curry's basketball team. How was he riding the coattails of Kevin Durant when Kevin Durant joined Golden State? So I don't understand that. And yeah, Curry is oh, no question, he is a leader. Even if he does dumb shit at times with the basketball, he is a leader. What he does proficiently in the offense in the system that he plays in is remarkable. The game has changed because of Steph Curry. More players and more teams shoot threes in today's NBA. We don't use the art of a big man. I mean, just look at the fact that Dwight Howard is shooting jump shots to extend the defense for LeBron to space the floor so that he can drive. That tells you what kind of NBA we have. But LeBron's is more so drive to kick out. Curry's is extending the defense because of his ability to shoot from long range. And I said that if Curry really wants to become more dangerous and more unstoppable, tighten his dribble and have a balanced mid-range jumper. And that's it. Nobody will be able to stop. Curry becomes the most unstoppable player in the NBA, even if he's not the fastest. He gets a balanced mid-range jumper instead of trying to float the ball all the time. You could do your little floaters when you get a little more closer into the paint. It shows the level of skill and marksmanship that Steph Curry has, as Stephen A. Smith always likes to put it. But Kemba Walker, yes, he is a leader. No question about that. I agree with Kemba Walker as well. The problem is MJ just never put a team around him. And the players that he put around him that I thought were going to help ended up being inconsistent and lame-os. Ended up not working out, right? So, sorry, just looking at the score. My Yankees winning 8-4 on the Red Sox. And Joker. Joker. Is Jokic a leader? I don't know about that one. He's very good. I don't know about him being the leader, but that's your opinion. I respected the Kyrie Irving. I would have said that until what happened last year. So in terms of what he does this year, he has to win me over with his leadership this season to show me that he's a leader. Now, in one part, it's not his fault in terms of what happened with the young guys in Boston and how they were really feeling themselves after that Eastern Conference final. But at the same time, Kyrie Irving did himself no favors throwing him under the bus. And to me, he showed poor leadership in that aspect. Let's see. So your opinion, I respect it, though. I respect it. And Wade for LeBron, and easily Kobe for Shaq. I think he's talking about in terms of best teammates. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. And D was saying maybe Al Horford in a sense. In a sense, he is. I will say Al Horford is a very vocal leader. So in a sense, he is. He's not a great player, but in terms of leadership, he knows how to talk to players, and I think players enjoy playing with Al. So I think he does bring some sort of leadership. I can agree with that to a certain degree. D. And with LeBron's best teammates, Shaq won the most in his career with Kobe. LeBron won the most in his career with Dwayne Wade. These would be obviously no-brainers. LeBron won 2 rings with Dwayne Wade back-to-back, went to 4 straight finals. How many times have people have said LeBron is on record to be having the most success with the Miami Heat? And I said when I looked at that 2011 basketball season, and you can check out the 2010-2011 documentary, the Miami Heat were trying to run a system that year. LeBron just looked very uncomfortable playing off the ball, and it's something that he's never worked on in his career. He's never worked on it. His fundamental skills in understanding the game, he still hasn't worked on it entering year 17. All I see LeBron do is practice shooting jump shots. That's fine. You want to continue to work on your jumper to keep it crisp and all that. But I think your fundamental skills on the offensive end and learning to play off the ball and executing on the offensive end, showing your fundamental skills, will really tell me that LeBron has grown as an individual player. Because his stats are really consistent if you look at LeBron's career. LeBron, to me, his most standout season was 2013 because of his field goal percentage from the field and from 3. But they really haven't been as historic as people kind of like claim it. To a degree it is. But I think 2013 was his best season. I think his best statistical season, probably you're looking at seasons like 2009, maybe 2006, things like that. So, and D. Jefferson says he forgot about Mike Conley, which I think is a good leader. Yes, Mike Conley is a very good leader. The funny thing is I was actually going to mention him after I talked about the Shaq and LeBron, but yeah, you're definitely right about that, D. No question. So I honestly believe that for people who downplay Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant in terms of LeBron and Shaq, in terms of their finals MVPs, the always question I always ask for those guys is, how come LeBron and Shaq didn't win with Shaq, how come he didn't win with Penny Hardaway? I said last night, Penny Hardaway was first team All-NBA in 95 and 96 in his second and third seasons. The Magic won. They were the number 1 seed in 95, and they were the number 2 seed in 96. They won 60 games, which in most years would have you as a number 1 seed. But the issue I have is Michael Jordan of 72 and 10 Bulls ended up putting them 4-zip. And Shaq knew that as long as Michael Jordan was in the Eastern Conference at full strength, he had to get out of there. And what I don't like is how Kobe Bryant gets disrespected when Shaq and Kobe won 3 titles, 3 straight, went to the finals 4 times in 5 years. And ladies and gentlemen, the last team to three-peat was that dominant 1-2 punch of Shaq and Kobe in the Los Angeles Lakers. The Golden State Warriors almost were 2 wins away from a three-peat. And that was considering the injuries they had to Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. But they did not have the depth to compete, to prolong the series. And the crazy part is they were still probably going to be able to push it if KD and Klay Thompson would have won. Then Game 7 in Toronto, the Warriors have been there before on the road. This time it would have been in the finals, but they know what it's like to win a Game 7 on the road. They would have done it. So So yeah, the fact that Kobe gets disrespected for what he contributed to those championship teams is ridiculous. Even if Shaq won the three Finals MVPs, we can't ignore what Kobe Bryant did in those NBA playoffs, those 3 straight years. But that's what the fans want to do. They want to ignore because they hate Kobe Bryant so much. They don't want to get their hate out of their blood that they think that Kobe was nothing mere for than just nothing but a shot chucker. Kobe Bryant has the most missed shots in NBA history, and they just say the typical blah 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 bull crap. And then with Wade being the true alpha and leader that he is, taught LeBron how to win. LeBron was cutting more in Miami, even though that he still has not done it consistently in his career. That's why I said that LeBron's basketball IQ to me is not as high as it claims to be. Because even you could call him dominant and this and that, like we know. But LeBron has a tendency to be predictable. You could talk about, you can't stop him because he's able to get the PRA XYZ, the XYZ, the PRA, as I like to call them, points, rebounds, assists, that his fanboys continuously always likes to go after at the end. Why hasn't LeBron been able to win more? See, that's the question I always come back to. Because Kobe and Shaq played in the triangle offense. And it helped them win. Even if it was a different era, even if it was in yesterday's NBA. If Kobe Bryant doesn't sacrifice himself and let the offense run through Shaq, are the Lakers going to be remembered as NBA champions? Shaq would be remembered as a non-winner, and he would be trolled by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Kobe would be known as just a selfish ball hog, right? Yet Kobe sacrificed himself for the good of winning, and him and Shaq won 3 titles together. They won. That's what people don't want to understand. Kobe did his thing in those championships. People want to say, Shaq got the double teams, so Kobe was wide open. Well, how about take off Kobe off of those Laker teams? Do you honestly think that Shaq is going to get the numbers that he gets? Because if y'all remember, the 2000 Blazers swarmed the hell out of Shaq. And I'm going to say it again, like I said last night. Shaq had 18 points and 9 rebounds in Game 7 in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. Do y'all remember that? This is the MVP. I remember Bill Walton said before the game that if Shaq doesn't get it done today, his season will be remembered as a failure for a near unanimous MVP 2000 season for Shaq. Because Shaq had a legendary 2000 season. He was number 1 in points, led the league in scoring, number 2 in rebounding, and number 3 in block shots. Alonzo Mourning, I believe, led the league in rebounding and shot blocking that year. But Shaq led the league in scoring. Shout out to my man Doug Banks, and shout out to my man He Knows His Sport. I am going to check out that email, and honestly, I think it is a great idea. I have no problem moderating for Friday's basketball talk. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to do it, so I will let you know in the comments. I will check that out. So what I'm telling y'all, man, is people are just gloating on how LeBron James led his Miami Heat and Cavaliers teams to 3 championships, acting like his teammates never existed. So Kyrie Irving was a nobody. People should look at the video of the 2013-2014 season with Kevin Love and look at some of the stuff that Kevin Love was doing. Because then if Kevin Love was a nobody, because he ended up as a nobody, remember, his game was sacrificed. He only had a decent Timberwolves team around him. They were not that good. Kevin Love was doing a lot of things. See, Kevin Love had a post game. Kevin Love, shout out to you, Doug Banks. Appreciate you. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, go check out Doug Banks' channel. Check out Speak Your Mind Sports Talk with D. And make sure y'all subscribe to He Knows His Sports, man. And make sure you guys let dudes know about the Louis Basketball Network and make sure they subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of you guys, man, for checking in and just hearing me talk on this basketball live stream. which I talked about NFL football at first, and I mentioned the scores. So you just got to check the live stream at the beginning when I talk about NFL football and some of these scores. And I am on 2 fantasy leagues, so I'm pulling for these players because I want to win this tournament, man. And so, like I was saying, what people fail to understand is they just want to talk about LeBron, just leading, these teams. LeBron James has had 2 20-point scores in his NBA Finals career. Now, Kobe Bryant may have had Andrew Bynum, who kind of played through injury, but he was never really on the floor as he should have been. Pau Gasol did not average 20 points, I believe, in the time with the Lakers in the NBA Finals. He was very good, and Pau deserves a lot of credit. I hate the fact that people bash Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol was very good and was a huge part of those championship teams. I don't discredit Pau Gasol. I just hate the fact that people disrespect Kobe, acting like if Kobe wasn't the best player on those 2 championship teams in 2009 and 2010. Take Kobe off of the Lakers. Are they going to win? Because that's how much hate Kobe gets. The best player, your best scorer, you take him off that team, are they going to win? That's a headache that the Orlando Magic or the Boston Celtics would have had to deal with. Because remember, 2008, they missed Trevor Ariza. Well, Trevor Ariza did play, but he was still not right after coming off that injury that he had. And Andrew Bynum was out for the series, who they could have used to counter Kendrick Perkins. So Pau Gasol was bullied by P.J. Brown, Kevin Garnett, and Kendrick Perkins, and a little bit of Leon Powe, which people don't understand. So when I look at Shaq's teammate, Kobe Bryant, was able to win 2 Finals MVPs and won 2 titles after him. And he had a good team around him. And Lamar Odom did win 6th Man of the Year, but that was in 2011. Because people forget that Lamar Odom was his 2nd best player up until they got Pau Gasol. And what people also forget is that the Lakers were a top 3 seed in that 2008 season before they traded for Pau Gasol. And the reason that they traded for Pau was the injury to Andrew Bynum. He tore his ACL. It's like people forget that. I don't know if the Lakers were looking to Pau at that time, but they had to look. They needed a big. Because then the Lakers would have been a much smaller team. And teams could punish them inside. Pau Gasol was a big difference maker, man. And so let me go to He Knows His Sports comment real quick. And appreciate that, Doug Banks. I feel you, bro. You got great music, man. Appreciate you. And so he goes, let's see. Lewis, what do you think? Kevin Durant should rush back, come back in 20, or should he come back in 2021? Well, I mentioned this when I was talking about KD earlier. I honestly believe KD should come back in 2021, come in and put in the foot on the Knicks, as you like to say a lot, and I love that term, in 2021. And he could come back 100. I think him trying to come back too soon, because it sounds like to me he could be ahead of schedule. That's why he's targeting to come back like right before the playoffs to kind of get a couple of reps in. I honestly believe that KD should come back the following season. I want him to kind of survey the floor and kind of study this Brooklyn Nets team to see how they're like from afar, and then see what he could bring in when he comes in, and then implement himself into the system that they're trying to do. So that's what I'm saying. He should really take his time. He really shouldn't rush back. I think that would be a mistake on his career. And you have to be out, and he has to think about it this way. He's going to be on a deep team. And that's why I said that he should take his time, because as I said earlier in the video, this is why that it's very crucial for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's very crucial for the Lakers, because if the Lakers don't win, remember what Rich Paul said about rumblings of AD going to New York. And he didn't say which New York team, But with the way that the Knicks are looking, the Brooklyn Nets are the most likely destination. They have a better structural organization. They have a better culture than the Knicks do as of right now. And they have better players. So if you put Anthony Davis with DeAndre Jordan, with a Kyrie Irving, who really needs to show me that he improved his leadership because now he's on the team that he wanted to be on. So Kyrie Irving doesn't get any pass or no excuses. If he shows any type of poor leadership, it's Kyrie Irving's going to look at as a guy who's just kind of like pretty much a prima donna. So, but imagine if Anthony Davis comes to that Brooklyn Nets team with Kevin Durant, even though he'll be 32 years old. But if we see anything of KD, and KD doesn't even have to score that much because he's on a deeper team, and Kyrie Irving understanding that his two best players he can give the ball to, I'm telling you, man, it's going to be over for the NBA, and you're looking at possibly the next dominant team for years to come in the Brooklyn Nets. And it's so sad because they haven't even existed that long in the NBA, yet the second-tier New York franchise is a better team than the New York Knicks. The Knicks may be worth the most money in terms of team value, but their value on the floor sucks. They need to get rid of the owner, James Dolan. The NBA needs to step in and get rid of his ass. I mean, it's gotten so pathetic to the point that he tried to get Jeannie Buss to sell the Lakers. My man Josh the GOAT, what is good, bro? What is good? And he said, I only asked because there are reports circling the but I believe he should practice patience and poise. Yeah. You know what? You know what he knows? I call it the PPP, the 3P. Kevin Durant going for that third ring. I call it the PPP. Practice, patience, poise. I like those 3 P's right there. Practice, patience, poise. Those are facts. My man Josh the GOAT is in the building. My man Josh. And let me see. He knows goals as Anthony Davis comes and they pick up Melo. You know what? This is where I said that Melo needs to shut his damn mouth and understand that you don't even got to do much, bro. If the Brooklyn Nets were to sign you, you don't even got to do a lot. You just come in, you know your role, shut your mouth, and just play with the team. Do whatever Kenny Atkinson asks you to do, and you should be thanking your lucky star and go bowing down to your knees to Kevin Durant and Kyrie for vouching for you to be back in the NBA and signing with the Brooklyn Nets. So let's see. Oh, yeah, they're the automatic favorites. And think about it. You think LeBron is going to want to deal with that if he was to get to the finals and knowing that, once again, he has to look over across the Eastern Conference and has to see Kevin Durant for a 4th time? And then his former teammate that he played with in AD to possibly looking at over and say, and kind of looking at him and calling him a traitor in his mind, like, you supposed to help me win championships, AD. What you doing over there helping Kevin Durant, boy? Now I'm going to get exposed in the West, man. I'm supposed to be the greatest of all time. I'm supposed to be leading teams to the finals. I'm supposed to be leading bums. Okay? I'm supposed to be leading trash teams to the finals. Okay? I'm the best player in the game. You can't be betraying me like that, man. I'm LeBron fucking James, man. I'm the GOAT. I'm better than Michael Jordan, man. You see my off-the-court stuff, man? I'm supposed to be leading 3 different teams to a championship so I can say I'm better than Michael. Even though his statistics fall. Woo! Very, 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 very short. I told you, I came out with a video on individual records and accolades that Michael Jordan has that LeBron will never catch. See, these delusional cats continue to come on my channel and keep spewing that LeBron is the greatest of all time. And I tell y'all no, because there's just things that, and they just go, and see, when you show them the proof, they're like, oh, so what? So what? LeBron's still the GOAT. He can be your GOAT. But by NBA pantheon of greatness standards, he's not better than Michael Jordan. Not even close. Not even close. Top 10 in my book. Other people's books, not even top 10. And that's their opinion, and I respect it. Top 5? Hell no. Greatest of all time? You might as well put it to the point as if you're climbing Mount Everest and there's a plaque of Jordan where you think that you're rock climbing and that you can reach it. And then there's that point where you slip on that specific rock, and then with the harness on you, you end up slipping and falling all the way down. That's LeBron James when it comes to chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan up on that mountain. That's what that is. So as I continue the comments, D. Jefferson goes, if KD gets injured again, he's going to screw the rest of his career. He got the contract, so he should milk it and take his time to rest. I think that's what he's trying to say. Oh, take his time for real. Oh, I get what you're saying, D. Yep, I agree. Josh the GOAT, what is good, my man? What it do? KD, I agree. He should not rush back at all. At all. Kyrie is just as injury prone as Anthony Davis, so we got to keep that in mind. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's going to be the key. When healthy, the NBA needs to be afraid. When healthy. Injury prone, not even a threat. Not even a threat. He says, you know what time is it? And yeah, D. Jefferson speaking straight facts. Oh, yeah. Oh, not just him, he knows. Rob Pelinka said championship or bust. So you already know that LeBron James is doing all. To me, in my opinion, you know what? I had a feeling that LeBron is kind of putting himself in the news out there to distract the casuals, knowing the fact that he has expectations to win a championship this year. Your teammate said he's expecting to be at the championship parade, and LeBron is putting himself in social media to kind of take away the distractions, in my opinion. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to do that. Do y'all agree, or do you think that that's false? Because I think that's why LeBron keeps himself relevant on social media all the time, to kind of take away what his real mission should be, and that's trying to win, so that LA fans don't have to be disgusted with him like they have been this past season. Because these quote unquote Laker fans talking about that LeBron means so much to their team, those are LeBron fans. I don't want to hear that. D. Jefferson says, if Anthony Davis goes to the Nets, I'm not watching basketball for a while. I don't like these super stacked teams, and we finally have split talent. I'm not trying to sit through another overpowered team. I agree with that. I do agree. To be honest, if I really want to be honest, I would love AD to go to the Knicks or even his hometown Chicago Bulls. Because with Kevin Durant, I actually want him to prove that he doesn't need all these players to win. The narrative was already built with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. It kills me because Draymond Green is not making all-star teams in yesteryear's NBA. And as a matter of fact, he makes all-star teams because he's on the Golden State Warriors. Any other team, Draymond's not an all-star. And Klay Thompson, he's an all-star because he averages 20 a game, even if he gets the attention off of Curry and gets the open shots that he does, but he still averages 20 a game. And like I said, he plays defense as a two-way player. Now, Draymond brings a lot of intangibles, so don't get me wrong, he's a good player. But when it comes to consistent offensive production, he's a last resort. And as a matter of fact, if you're having Draymond Green beat you on the offensive end, you have a chance to win. And if you're a Golden State Warriors fan, you would be cringing your teeth and chuckling knowing that Draymond Green is going to be your primary scorer. So no. The problem is LeBron fanboys kept doing all 4 All-Stars, all 5 All-Stars. Did the Golden State Warriors win the 2019 NBA Finals? What happened to that free ring that DeMarcus Cousins was going to get? And remember, it only happened due to the injuries suffered by KD and Klay in between the series. Kevin Durant is on that Warriors team in 2019 NBA Finals. I don't think Kawhi Leonard will be getting all this crazy praise that he's getting, knowing the fact that he had a Fred VanVleet, Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, Kyle Lowry, Danny Green. Those guys don't get enough credit. Pascal Siakam. He says that teaming up with LeBron is automatic for him to make it to the finals and win. So anything less, AD is gone. I told you, like Hino says in this comment, AD and Rob Pelinka have set the expectations for the Lakers this season. You really haven't heard LeBron talk about expectations this season, and you're probably not going to hear it until training camp. So LeBron could do all the workouts he wants, and he's capping to the media about what expect to be this year, and you're going to see that the resurrection and the season is coming, season for the ages. That sounds all nice, but you need to prove it on the basketball court. Enough with this tell. This ain't show and tell, my man. Enough with the telling. You need to show it. After what happened last year, you're gonna. And another thing, if you do any type of media distractions when it comes to your basketball team, you're not gonna go far. Not gonna go far. And like I said, is he gonna let AD do his thing and sacrifice his game, or is LeBron gonna want to be the man and AD has to sacrifice? Because if that's the case, I don't see the Lakers winning the title. They'll be in the postseason, but I don't see them winning the title. To be honest with you, I'm trying to be fair and objective when it comes to Anthony Davis. If he goes to the Nets, like I said, they're the next dynasty in the making in the NBA, the next dominant team. But I agree with D. I don't want to see any more super teams. For the first time in a long time, we have more balance in the league. I want to see a competitive basketball regular season and a competitive postseason where just about every matchup will have you on the edge of your seat. That's what I want as an avid basketball fan. I think it would create new rivalries in the NBA, something that the 90s had and the early 2000s that today's era does not have. I feel like the NBA has been trying to force rivalries, and the product has just not come out to what the NBA is trying to force. Just look at the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. They forced it down our throats 4 years in a row. I was not entertained by that. At that point, I said, I want to see new blood in the finals. Now, we got Golden State for a fifth year, but we got a new opponent in the East in Toronto. And that was a very nice, exciting 6-game series. It was the best that I've seen in quite a while. That's what I want to see. I would love to see different opponents. Look at baseball. You have a different world champion every single year. There's parity. When you look at the NFL, same thing. When you look at hockey, same thing. You don't see this. You don't see this 4 years in a row crap stuff. You don't really see it like that. So, yo, that's facts. Both of those fields have to have a title or nothing. Oh yeah. Oh man. Damn, you thought damn D and Hino's throwing haymakers out here like two boxers about to fight. Are we seeing Errol the True Spence against Sean Porter? Maybe Tank Davis against Lomachenko. Who knows? Against Loma? I don't know. By the way, I'm gonna say it right now. Errol has to avoid Sean Porter on the inside of the body shots, but my man Errol, the Bulldozer Spence, as I'm calling him now, Errol the Bulldozer Spence with his 8-pack. I'm telling you, bro. And that dude does not have any stamina issues. With much respect to Sean Porter, Errol's going to bulldoze his ass September 28th. Best believe. You heard it here, right here on the Louis Basketball Network. Told you, he proved to the world that he can box. And I'm telling you, he's going to do it again come September 28th. So D Jefferson, bro, I know this off topic, but the Patriots is blessing the Steelers without AB 30-3 in the fourth quarter. Listen, I picked the Pats to win. I already picked the Pats to win. It's already in the fourth quarter. I already knew. Bro, I knew this. I knew this happening. I told you. The Steelers are regretting their toxic organization and their capping for Ben Roethlisberger, for Big Ben, is why Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell are not there. Le'Veon Bell got franchise tagged 3 times. 3 times. They catered too much to Ben Roethlisberger. Too much. I'm not excusing what Antonio Brown's attitude was, because he's historically been like that since the beginning of his career. But he's right to an extent in that they cap for Big Ben too much. So it's like they are, I guess, and they really weren't that great of friends. So, you know, whatchamacallit. He said, hell yeah, now you're talking. No, it's true. No, like I said, man, I'm tired of the super team era, man. And the crazy part is, look, LeBron and Kevin Durant benefited off of that. KD more than LeBron did because LeBron didn't even really dominate. All people want to say, oh, he participated in 8 straight finals. You know how hard that is? It's a lot easier when you team up with Wade and Bosh and your competition in the East is not as strong. Then you go back to Cleveland and team up with Kyrie and Kevin Love in their young years. It's like LeBron teamed up with prime players. Now, you could say it's smart, but that's why he was able to keep his final streaks alive. Run into the right team and tell me, was LeBron going to make 8 straight finals? I swear, his fans are so toxic, bro, with these excuses. How many times did you win? 3-9, 33% NBA finals? I don't want to hear that. That he went against the greatest team of all time in the Golden State Warriors and 4 future Hall of Famers, this and blah, 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 that, and blah, 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 blah. Don't want to hear it. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to break down LeBron's NBA Finals career right here once again, because this needs to marinate in the corpus callosum for the brains so that these guys can hear. Because these guys are delusional as fools in these NBA streets. No one says LeBron ain't great, but you get called a hater when you tell the truth about his NBA Finals career. 18-31. That's real impressive. Oh my God. Oh yeah. And let me continue. I was talking about LeBron and Anthony Davis both having to win the title this year, not KD. Yeah, because we know KD's going to be out for pretty much the 2021. Even though he's going to try to come back, I really suggest he stays out. But yeah, the two dodo heads in LeBron and AD, they need to get it together. I told you, Anthony Davis is a puppet slave master for LeBron James. And he's going to find out the hard way when things don't work out. If they don't work out. I shouldn't say when they don't, if they don't work out. Because they have a nice team. Tom Brady is my dude. You guys know this, like your boy, he knows. I go for only winners. Well, yeah, Tom Brady and the Pats got their 6th Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, I don't know if people know, but the Patriots have the same amount of Super Bowl wins as the Pittsburgh Steelers with 6. The 49ers and the Cowboys come second with 5. And the Giants have 4. But the Patriots tied the Steelers. They win this year, they become the winningest franchise for Super Bowls in the modern era in NFL history. Just saying. And like I said, all I got to say is Demaryius Thomas, Julian Edelman, Josh Gordon, and AB, who will probably start in week 2. Oh, my God. I'm telling you, bro. The Lakers won't make the NBA playoffs. I'm not ready to say that. If they get injured, I'll agree with you there. I got them as a playoff team. I'm not going that far. He would not have won if KD was healthy, and that's not an excuse. That's a fact. KD don't get hurt, and Kawhi only has 1 ring, while Toronto would still have been without a title. Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. I keep telling the cats, Mr. Alistair who keeps trying to go with the NBA champs and Kawhi, whatever. That's nice and all that. Did you see? I keep telling Alistair, did you see what Kevin Durant did in those 11 minutes in Game 5? Kawhi Leonard had to guard him, and KD was a perfect 3 for 3 from the field with 11 points. 3 for 3, folks. And I keep saying that those were the most important 11 points of the game because when the Warriors went on their historic 20-0 run, they only won the game by 2 points. That tells you how impactful KD's 11 points were. And I keep talking about with LeBron, his numbers don't have impact. Now, we'll see what happens next season, this upcoming season. But his numbers didn't have impact on why the Lakers missed the playoffs. Not just because those guys were hurt, but his numbers had no impact, and he was getting his individual numbers. And all the stats that he was accumulating and the records that he was doing and some of the guys he was passing on the all-time list, LeBron kept trying to push that to the social media to distract the fact that he failed to make the playoffs in his first year in the Western Conference after 8 straight finals that his fans continue to gloat over and gloss over. Oh, 8 straight finals. Oh, my God, LeBron is he's just the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. 8 straight finals. Name other players in NBA history who've done that. Well, how many times did he win? 3. So you lost 62% of the finals in your 8 straight finals appearances, losing to system teams. Oh, this and Freddie Gee, I gotta say this too. As much as I appreciate you, brother, it talking about that it has to be perfect. Well, the 2016 NBA Finals, everything had to come out perfect in order for LeBron to win. Remember that? That's what I keep trying to tell people. To a less talented Golden State Warriors team, they were down 3-1. After they see, the thing is, the Cavaliers should have took advantage because the Warriors came off a 7-game series, and you had a little bit more rest because you beat Toronto in 6 games. And did people forget that the Cavaliers were 12-2 in that postseason while the Warriors were struggling to win after Steph Curry got injured? Their offense completely changed. They had to be reliant more of a defensive team, and they had to share the ball even more, knowing that they didn't have their best shot creator in Steph Curry and their best playmaker. Draymond Green averages the most assists, but let's be really honest. And as good of a playmaker he is, Curry's the best playmaker on that team because of his ability to do many things. He can make plays with the ball. He can make plays without the ball. That's why I call Curry their ultimate playmaker. Hell, they might have not won if Clay didn't go down, but definitely Curry and KD could have gotten the job done. I really believe that. I agree. um, with this comment, I would say in terms of Finals MVPs, KD would be in more rarefied air than LeBron James because KD would have gotten a third straight. That would have put him with Shaq and Michael Jordan territory, and KD would have three-peated, something LeBron James has not done in 16 years. I just love how they say he's made 8 finals in nine finals in 16 years, but he only won 3 in 16. So my thing is, they're like, oh, but Michael Jordan only won 6 finals in 15 years, but you do understand LeBron only won half as many in about the same amount of years that he played, right? You see how that dumb that logic is? And the significant number is still 6-0. Michael Jordan did not lose an NBA Finals when he played. Michael Jordan won all 6 of his finals, and Michael Jordan was the best player in all 6 finals MVPs in the 6 finals he played. And did you know that in LeBron's finals in 2014, where he averaged 28 a game, shot 57% from the field when he was really ineffective? That's what context would tell you. Context would tell you. And Kawhi Leonard played very well in those finals on less points and a slightly higher efficiency. Michael Jordan, in his worst finals, still averaged 27 points per game. He shot 41% from the field against the 96 Sonics, who, in my opinion, is the most underrated defensive team in NBA history. That team won 64 games with prime Gary Payton, who won Defensive Player of the Year, and Shawn Kemp, who in his prime was a beast. That had Def Lefrem, that had Hersey Hawkins, that had Nate McMillan coming off the bench, Sam Perkins. People acting like that team wasn't nothing, bro. That team won 38 games at Key Arena, son. 38-3 at the Key in 96. The Bulls won 39 games at home that year. And the Orlando Magic won 39 games in the Kingdom. Out here hating, bro. Yep. Lewis, who is your favorite team this year? Are you talking about basketball or football? Facts, bro. Porter's gonna get beat up like Spence's a schoolyard bully. Oh yeah, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. People are showing this damn hate for Errol Spence. I'm telling you, bro. They don't understand the work that this man has put in. This dude has hunger. This dude Like when I hear Errol talk, man, he sounds like a true student of the game, bro. I told you. You could talk about that he beat down Mikey Garcia, but people were talking to Mikey Garcia like he was gonna kill Spence. So what happened? All of a sudden, they were saying the Mikey Garcia fanboys were talking about how Mikey Garcia was gonna beat Spence. Then when Spence beats him, it's all now Mikey Garcia's all broken down all of a sudden. I told you, narratives even change in boxing too, folks. That's what you guys see. The narratives change when you're an ultra fanboy of your favorite athlete and they don't get the job done. I told you the goalpost always moves, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I told you, with much respect to Sean Porter, I don't know. I feel like his boxing to me is real sloppy when I look at Sean Porter box. He has power, and like I said, he's very good with body shots on the inside, but that's the key. I feel like Sean Porter gets more exposed when you don't allow him to get inside. That's just my opinion when I watch Sean Porter box. And like I said, when I listen to the little PBC interview, I could just tell by listening to Sean Porter, that dude ain't believing a goddamn word he is saying. And I look at Errol's eyes, and people are like, oh, Errol's eyes look kind of closed right now, like dude looking high and all that. I'm telling you, he told Sean Porter to his face, I'm gonna add you to my resume. Believe that. Oh, and I believe it. September 28th, you're gonna check Sean Porter. He will be just another victim on Errol Spence's list. People don't understand that. People don't understand that, bro. And like D said, he is gonna be a schoolyard bully. Whew. Oh my God. Let that marinate in the corpus callosum, as he knows his sport says with his famous words. Hear him and hear him well. Hear me and hear me well. And so he says, first of the greatest team of all time was the Celtics with the Russell and Havlicek and then the Chicago Bulls team. Well, let's not forget those Lakers of the 80s too, though. Let's not forget those Lakers of the 80s, man. Oh, even the Minneapolis Lakers with George Mikan. They were the first true dynasty, to be honest with you. So I'm taking it way back. And George Mikan was the first true superstar in the NBA. Yeah, I be seeing these NBA documentaries, man. Like I said, Louis Basketball Network. He knows his basketball, man. No, it's a hell of a good line. I agree, bro. Oh, he was just as delusional when I was watching that boxing stream today. When I was doing that boxing live talk, I'm just like, there were some points. He made some good points, but then it's like he lost me. Like with the last statement he made, I'm like, I told you, Alistair, when you need a show, you need a show. And I told you, D, you need to make a delusional mastermind title. Like, y'all need to work on that. You want to speak in my sports talk? I'm telling you, Alistair will kill those. It's like the Shaq and the Fool. That could be your Shaq and the Fool award right there. It will go to Alistair 49, man. That would be it, bro. Oh, 2011 was game over. Same thing with this 3-9. They're just delusional, man. Delusional. Abysmal 33%. And I'm like, even if you take away his '07 finals and if you give him a pass, he still only won 37% of his finals. So what? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. No way. 33% finals average. Hell no. Sorry. I'm telling you, yo. Listen, man. I be coming with them intros, man. I told you, he knows his sport. I mean, when he does his thing, speaking my sports talk is dope. He comes with the intro music, and then it's like, it's D Jefferson and back speaking my sports talk. I mean, yo, it's great, man. It's enticing, it's catching. And then you see your man Louis Basketball Network coming in again. I come in with another banger with yet another video, son. See, that's my slogan. See, all of us YouTubers right here that, appreciate each other, support each other, want to see us to do well, and want to see our channel grow, and it's going to happen one day. This is what we do, man. We put the foot on the necks when we bring the topics. We bring the debates for the fans. What I don't appreciate is these damn troglodytes that come into your channel and just disrespect you for no reason because they tell the truth on something about their favorite player that they don't like. And the thing is, they don't even try to argue with you. They don't try to say, well, I disagree with you and here's why. No. they come in and disrespect you. They come and curse you. They call you a clown. Now, I don't take that personally. So I kind of entertain it and go back and forth with some of these guys, but they're morons. It's like you would have thought. I said, you guys are nothing but keyboard warriors. That's it. It's pathetic. It's really, really pathetic, man. It's like you got nothing better to do with yourselves than to troll dudes that are actually putting in the grind out here in these YouTube streets. Guys like my man, he knows his sport, and dudes that be trolling on his channel. Like I remember what was it that I think his name was that Ben Berto dude. Oh my goodness. He just came in and just started cursing me out, and I'm like, dude, you didn't even comment on the video, nothing. And then when I told him to answer a question, he didn't want to. He just ignored the question and continued to troll. And I'm like, oh, you see, I'm telling the truth, and basically you're ignoring the question. You're full of it, bro. Full of it. I appreciate that, D. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it all to the truest and properest levels, man. Cold-hearted, unadulterated truths that he knows his sport always likes to say. Facts. Oh man, oh, that's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, no, Alistair was here for like a brief second. He was just here because he was like when he came, he was just like the Toronto Raptors are gonna win. I said, yeah. I said they'll win in about another 20 years, man. Alistair, I think checked out, but he's pretty good. But I told you, he's wearing that Skip Bayless costume. He thinks he's Skip Drip Bayless out here hating on Kawhi Leonard for leaving. I told you, Kawhi Leonard did not want to be with the Toronto Raptors. He just made it work and was a professional with Toronto just because of the situation in San Antonio. Correct? He wanted to be a Los Angeles Laker or Clipper. He wanted to be in Los Angeles. Greg Popovich said, I am not helping a rival in the Western Conference. I'm going to shift you away as far as possible. People don't understand the rivalry that the Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs had in the in the late 90s, early 2000s. People forget about that. From 99 to 03, that joint was a hell of a rivalry. Hell of a rivalry. Because what people fail to understand is in 99, the Spurs beat the Lakers in the second round. They won the NBA title. 2001, the Lakers beat the Spurs. They win the NBA title. 2002, the Lakers beat the Spurs. The Lakers win the NBA title. 2003, the Spurs beat the Lakers, and the Spurs went on to win the NBA title. The team that beat the team that particular year wound up winning the NBA title. And then in 2004, they meet again. And 2004, they met in the second round. The Lakers win 6 games, and they went to the NBA Finals. Then in 2008, 4 years later, they meet again for the 6th time, the 5th time in the decade, 6th time overall, and they went to the NBA Finals. I mean, this is what I'm telling you, bro. So, D says, I timed that dude out for 300 seconds and he come back for 300. That dude is an idiotic troll, man. He got nothing credible to say. Oh, yeah. Wow. Whew. Wow, man. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, so that's the thing we got to deal with him, man. It's unbelievable, man. Yo, so I can't wait. So, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Once again, this was fun. And you already know me laying out the info once again on the Lewis Basketball Network. You guys can catch me every single time. I will be making some now videos. Excuse me. I will be making some videos during the week. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, man, let dudes know about the channel, man. Make sure you guys let these guys know. share the content, share the videos, like the channel, uh, subscribe to the channel. Once again, if you're new. Um, or before that, who are my favorite NBA teams? Well, to be honest, I really didn't even have an NBA team. Well, there were my Knicks. My Knicks are my team, even though they've been crap for the last 20 years. It's unfortunate because of this idiot James Dolan. And they have no direction. But the Knicks are my team, to be honest with you. That's the team I rock with. If it's not the Knicks, um, the team that I mostly rock with would be the Golden State Warriors. I just like I just enjoyed the basketball that they played. They made it fun. NBA player. Hmm. My favorite NBA player is Steph Curry, just because of the underdog that he has and what he was able to do to be a transcendent of the game. Now, if I'm not liking Steph Curry, I'm a big Kevin Durant fan. I'm a big Kevin Durant fan. He's not my favorite player, but he's my second favorite player, just because I call him Slim Reaper for a reason. I mean, that dude is unbelievable. And like I said, Kevin Durant, to me, in my opinion, is the modern day Larry Bird offensively, just without the rebounding and just without the playmaking. But to me, in terms of dominance of the game, Kevin Durant to me is the modern day Larry Bird. And that's to me who you would compare Kevin Durant to. Him or Dirk Nowitzki, in terms of forwards that can score the rock at big heights. That's who Kevin Durant reminds me a lot of. And the crazy part about Larry Bird, he did it with he did it with efficiency in a much tougher physical era. But that's who my that's my favorite player, Steph Curry. But definitely oh my God, here we go with he knows. That explains your defense for Curry. Here's the thing. What people don't understand. Steph Curry. Steph Curry. Does he tend to choke at times? Is he better? Is he a better individual talent than Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant is a much better offensive player than Steph Curry. Because what I told you, as I've already said, Curry relies on the three ball too much. So you're able to stop him. Like I said, but he has the ability to drive to the cup, and he has floaters. He has the ability to move without the ball. See, Kevin Durant learned those things playing with the Golden State Warriors. See, he was capable of doing that with Oklahoma City. He just didn't do it consistently or improve himself as a playmaker until he joined Golden State. And like I said, Curry changed the game. And I told you that Curry can become unstoppable if he gets a mid-range game. And I told you, tightens his dribble. It would be much harder to double team him. But Kevin Durant, pound for pound, is arguably the best offensive player in the game. When healthy, Kevin Durant is the best player in the game. Bar none. There's no question about that. For those who are capping for LeBron are delusional. If in terms of NBA career, LeBron has had a better NBA career than Kevin Durant. But if we're talking about who the best player in the game is right now, oh, it's KD. Listen, if you're going to sit out here and tell me that that's my defense for Steph Curry, then we're not even talking about your defense for Kevin Durant. Your biased defense for Kevin Durant. And you know it's the truth. He knows. You know it's the truth. All right? But I'm not going to sit here and say that Steph Curry is better than KD. But at the same time, Curry brings intangibles that can be measured. And on top of that, Curry is a leader. Kevin Durant has been growing into a leader playing with Golden State. And a little bit of fairness to Kevin Durant, we really didn't get to see that leadership in Oklahoma City just because he was in a complicated situation with Russell Westbrook. And my man Agent Circle has said, we haven't really had true alphas in the NBA. A lot of high octane betas in the NBA. Too many of them. Too many. We already know who's your favorite NBA player. He knows. So my question to you is, who's your favorite NBA team? D, I ask you the same thing. Do you have a favorite player? And I know you rock with the Knicks, so in terms of your team, even though we haven't been shit in so long. But do you have a favorite NBA player? And he's laughing at he knows the sport because we already know. So let's see. While I type this on the, I haven't really typed on these live streams, right? Let me just type real quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm actually going to start doing now, because usually I've been the only one talking on these live streams, but I'm actually probably maybe in a couple of live streams, I'm going to start allowing dudes to come on the panel so that dudes can talk and give their opinions. I think it would be a nice way to, I think it'd be a nice way to, like, just hear your thoughts. And, that way it'd be great just to get your insight. It'd be great. And I will send invitations, just people, like, let me know their emails and stuff like that. And I will definitely, I will definitely invite you to come on the stream and, we'll have a debate and we'll do some NBA talk. Appreciate it. I mean, if you're into football too, let me know and we'll do football talk as well, because like D said, I should really change it to basketball and football, which I am going to be doing. So I am going to be doing more football and I'm going to be doing basketball as well. And I'm going to extend a little bit to wrestling as well, because I know how he always talks about how Ric Flair is his guy. So I will definitely be doing that for sure. Doing more of those. AEW is hot right now with my man Chris Jericho being the AEW champion. So definitely it's going to be that, man, because so it's going to be great. So and so D, like, I definitely would invite you, since I'm always usually, coming, either be on your channel typing or I'm, with you talking on the live basketball network, he knows a sports stream, but I'm gonna start doing that on mine. And I think we need to get fellas and a lot of dudes to know and just let dudes know about the Louis Basketball Network, because we continue to bring the bangers on this channel, or as he knows, likes to say, that heat and that fire. Those are his words. But like I said, what we do here is we bring nothing but bangers on this channel. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to end the stream. I truly appreciate you guys for taking the time doing this NBA live stream, since we didn't have an NBA live stream on He Knows. But He Knows I will definitely do a moderator on Friday, and I will show up for tomorrow's live basketball chat on Monday. So, I definitely will be there. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Lewis with another one. Subscribe to the channel, like the stream, share the content, comment down below at the live stream. And like I said, this is your boy Lewis with another one, man. I appreciate all of you, whether we agree or disagree. Oh, man, I appreciate y'all. As always, bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you for appreciating. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Share the stream. I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful Sunday night. Bless it. Deuces. Love y'all. Peace.